Did you know you can buy a film camera for $30? Goodwill Finds has a ton of these, but like most things owned by someone else, there's no guarantee they'll work. So say hello to my first Nikon Nikermat. Horrible name, by the way. Google must be misusing their maps cars again, because as soon as this thing landed on my doorstep, I was recommended a video on YouTube about painting old film cameras. I hate how well their algorithm knows me because I love this shit. Something that looks stupid easy and makes my thing look way different than anyone else's. So with only 30 bones on the line, I figured I'd start tearing into this thing. I started off strong, taking off the screws I could see and getting the big panels off to paint. But I couldn't figure out how to take the top off. I came up with the brilliant idea of taking the lens rings off instead. Thought it might help the top come off, or at the very least I could paint those parts too. And you could see me stripping the screws here like a big brain because they're 50 years old and stuck on like a motherfucker. I finally get that thing off and quickly realized that that hour-long exercise was completely unnecessary. So I decided to watch a video on how to take the thing apart. Then, like the genius that I am, I proceed not to follow the video and scratch the top of the film advance lever. Miraculously, I didn't break any more parts and I'm able to take the top off. I decided at this point that I'm going to copy the video I watched and paint the camera white with black accents because it looks cool and it also matches my car. To do that, I'm going to need to replace the old black leather with white leather, so I start peeling off that old shit. I gave the old leather to the woman under my stairs to trace the pattern and cut it out of the new stuff. After a little sanding, the metal parts were ready for paint. I'm super lazy, so I just bought a rattle can with a 2-in-1 primer and acrylic enamel, hoping that would work. The pieces look surprisingly good, except that one ring that took me an hour to get off, the paint peeled instantly, making the action of taking it off even more of a waste of my time. So now I just had a stripped screw and nothing looked different. Instead of maybe waiting longer in hopes for the paint to set, I decided to press on and carefully assembled the camera. Luckily, there was only one minor paint peel from removing the masking tape, but the rest seemed to be fine. I let the paint dry another couple days just to make sure it wouldn't scratch off, and then got this beautiful shot of the top of my head. Just kidding, I was gluing on the leather. Now was kind of the scary part. I was gonna paint the black in on all the lettering. I started painting the bottom just in case I fucked something up so that no one would see it, then proceeded to fuck it up like 3 times. I would overpaint, then wipe the excess off with a rag covered in isopropyl alcohol. But the white paint was also alcohol soluble, so it would put a thin layer of white over the black. I couldn't come up with a way of making it look any better, so I decided some paint was better than no paint and just put it everywhere. And here it is, the final camera. She's definitely rough around the edges and probably needs a clear coat, but for minimal effort, I learned a lot, and at a glance, it looks pretty cool. Definitely different than anything out there that anyone else has. What do you think? Was it worth it? Actually, I don't care about your opinion. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you don't need to subscribe, but maybe consider watching something else I've made. And if you like that too, then you can subscribe.